I'm here today at Indiana Buddhist Temple. This temple is now 17 years old, and the temple is open not only for Buddhists but for all faiths and religions. All should know by now, all should know that Buddhism is considered to be the fourth largest religion in the world. Even though it is called a religion, Buddhism, the Buddhist or the Buddha, there is no God involved in this religion. It's the Buddha that has taught in his teaching, what he has taught is the way of life. So we consider it is more of a philosophy. So Buddhism is considered to be a philosophy. So the Buddhists follow the Buddha's teaching or the Buddha's way of life. The teaching involves, it tells us how we should live our life. He says that if we do good, the good karma will follow us. Similarly, if we do bad, the bad karma will follow us. So it's a philosophy that we all consider as a religion now, tells us that we should do more good in our life. And this Buddha has never put rules on people that, don't do this and don't do that. But instead, he has shown the people what comes if you do certain activities. But he has given freedom to all to choose what you feel and what you want to do. But he has given you only a guidance of what will happen if we do wrong and what will happen if we do the correct thing, if we be kind and caring with people. And so at Indiana Buddhist Temple, we teach everyone what the Buddha has taught. And specifically, Buddhism is more or less involved in meditation. And we have certain meditation programs which have helped so many. We have programs very specially for kids as well as adults. I would like to introduce you to Mr. Bruce Allen, who has been very much involved in Indiana Buddhist Temple. He will share you some experience of how he feels and by following Buddhism, the benefits that he has got. And I think he will be a better person in explaining of the difference between the religions, his faith, what he believed, and the difference between religion and his faith and the benefits that he has given. So over to you, Mr. Bruce Allen, to explain.
Thank you. Okay, so my name is Bruce Allen. I have been coming to Indiana Buddhist Temple for about 10 years. When I was growing up, there were no Buddhist temples in Fort Wayne at all. I never heard of Buddhism. I didn't know anything about it. But there are many Buddhist temples in the Fort Wayne area now, and they are all very well accepted because it is such a peaceful religion. One thing that I have really found is that although I was raised Christian, and I no longer really identify myself as Christian anymore, but I have found that coming to the temple, to a Buddhist temple, believe it or not, has really strengthened some of my own Christian beliefs, because there are so many similarities between Christianity and Buddhism. So let me thank you first for asking for us to do a video about Buddhism. There are so many problems in the world right now, so much trouble all over the world right now. And so much of that is caused simply by people not knowing each other, by not understanding each other. So when something new comes to you, our first instinct as a human being is to be a little bit afraid of it. And then maybe we back up that fear and we justify it and we say, those people, they're definitely wrong. But it's because we don't know about it. So it's really wonderful that you have asked us to do this video to introduce you to Buddhism. On that note, let me say that just doing a very short video like this, it's really hard to say very much about Buddhism because it's such a varied religion. Now, let's imagine that, well, I imagine that most of you come from the Christian tradition. Let's imagine that you had never heard of Christianity. You had no idea what it was. You came from somewhere where there just was no Christianity. But suddenly you came to the United States and you had to try to explain to people, well, I think this is what Christianity is. So if you visited a Catholic church, if you visited a Lutheran church, I was raised in the Lutheran tradition. If you went to an African-American church on Sunday, but then you had to report back to people and say, well, you know, it just looks so different. That everybody is doing something different. I just don't understand it at all. Well, it's just that people are expressing themselves in their own unique way, and one is not better or worse than another. It's just a different expression of Christian beliefs. So there are 2 or 3 main types of Buddhism in the world, and the temple here is of the Theravada tradition. Now, we have our own types of beliefs, and we have our own traditions. At the end of the video, you will meet the abbot of our temple, Bhante Devananda. Now, Bhante Devananda, you'll see he's dressed in a saffron robe. He's not married. He has been a monk since he was about 10 years old. Now, if you would contrast him with somebody from Japan or from China, you would see, oh, gosh, it just looks so different. They're practicing something really different. How can we say what's common in Buddhism? So we have our monks here. A couple of hours west of Fort Wayne is Chicago. And I occasionally go to a Japanese temple in Chicago. Well, the minister of the temple in Chicago is married. He has a wife and children. He's a chain smoker. That's something that our monks would never do. So it's just a different flavor. It's a different variety of Buddhism. The Buddha was a contemporary of Abraham in the Christian tradition about 2,500 years ago. So there are many similarities and many differences. As was pointed out before, one difference is that in the Christian tradition, the Christians believe that Jesus was a Messiah, and he was both man and God. But that's very different from Buddhism. Buddhism does not say that there is no God. It doesn't say, oh yes, there is a God. It's just sort of beside the point. It's not what we focus on as Buddhists. So you're free to believe in a God or not believe. It's up to you. So that you have probably heard a lot of talk about karma. A lot of people understand karma, or think they understand it. Karma is something that's very misunderstood. In the West, we think of karma as being some kind of retribution. If you do something bad, oh, karma is going to get you. Well, karma can be either good, can be either positive or negative. What karma really is, and this is really important, karma is the road that you create. It's the path that you yourself create in life, and then you follow that path. Karma is like momentum. It's the momentum that you cause. If you do good things, your life will tend to produce, not always, but it will tend to produce good results. If you're not a good person, you're just going to perpetually live like that. So karma is is the momentum that you create in your life. So there are many aspects to Buddhism. You should, if you have time, you should try to learn a little bit about the different kinds of Buddhism, so that you know it's a very varied religion. Our friend pointed out, by the way, that Buddhism is not really thought of as a religion, but it depends on your definition of the word religion. Do you know where the word religion comes from? It's Latin. It comes from re legio, to link back. You are a link in a chain that leads back to something. So you can link back to your version of God. You can link back to the Buddha and his beliefs. So, and it can be a religion or not. So again, the main point is that there are very, very many kinds of Buddhism in the world. So read a little bit, try to synthesize a little bit, and realize that we are just different varieties of one belief system. So with that, I think I'll turn you over to our Sri Lankan friends. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Hi, my name is Bruno, and I'm a 9th grader. This is my brother.
I'm Karun, and I'm a 4th grade student.
We moved here from Sri Lanka and have been attending Sunday school on Sundays. We learn about Buddhism and to meditate. Through this, it helps us concentrate and focus on schoolwork. It also helps us remember the stuff that we do in school. Meditating helps with love and kindness. It helps spread positive thoughts.
So, now since you spoke to Mr. Bruce, spoke to a few words about the difference between Buddhism and other religions, and the little kids who came here and told what they feel and what the benefits that they get through Buddhism. So I invite all of you, if there is a temple close by, if not, I mean, we can Google and find more details about Buddhism. As I said, it's open for any faith, any religion, and it never says that you have to convert as a Buddhist to follow Buddhism. Being in your own religion, own faith, believing in your own faith, practicing your own religion, still you can learn Buddha's teaching and get the necessary, get the help from Buddha's teaching to live a good life. And basically what Buddhism and the meditation involved in Buddhism, it teaches you to spread loving kindness, it helps you to be kind to people, and it develops your positive thoughts, where when we look at everything we do, everything we speak, everything if we speak or do anything positively, all positive things will happen. So it helps you to go away from negativity. So I invite all to read a little bit more about Buddhism, maybe visit a temple close by and explore more about Buddhism. Thank you. Buddha Saranaya.
Dear Dharma friends, Indiana Buddhist Temple, welcome all religion, all faith. Do you want to practice meditation or do you want to understand Buddha's teaching? Welcome and join us. Think good, do good. Always there bring to happiness. May you be well, happy and peaceful. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.